Well, from Third Today, Steve Parsons is with me. He is their board treasurer. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. And Steve, great to have you on.
Thank you.
First thing you want to talk about is, of course, this time of the year, the budget is in full force.
Yes.
Budget for 2019, I should say.
Right. I want to preface this by saying that so many times we get complaints, we have people inquiring about things, but we really want you to know that things are going pretty well.
Right.
And good things are happening, so we want to capitalize on these things. So one of the things is the budget process. This has meant a lot to me this year because this is the first year I've seen where budget planning has really gone smoothly.
Right.
The boards have come together, especially the presidents and first vice presidents and the staff, Brad and his folks. They have really sat down and identified all the major components to the budget, what it would cost, and we've laid it out for everyone to consider, and it's been considered a couple times, and it's going very smoothly. So what we had last year, year before, a lot of meetings happening, not so much.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much to the point where we're going to be able to really start firming up things here. Our next budget meeting for Third is on the 10th of August, 9:30 to 12 in the boardroom, and it will be televised. So want to let people know about that.
All right, very good. Now let's move on to something that's fun around here, and that is the Laguna Woods Art Association.
Well, this is kind of near and dear to me because my wife is in that organization.
Okay.
And they've just been able to do something brand new this year. And in their plein air painting, which means they just take everything outside, in multimedia, which could be oils, it could be acrylics, watercolors, whatever. And she took them to different places within the village so that they could paint different scenes.
Okay.
And it's the first time these folks have ever done that. And through the Thrive program, they've sent a photographer out to be with these folks to take shots of what they're doing. And we hope after they finish their paintings and sketches and things like that, that they will actually have them on display somewhere. You might, some places that they've been, I'll mention that because it's all within the village, is the Aliso Creek Park, the Clubhouse 1 Koi Pond, the building and the fountain there also. They've been to the stables, which a lot of people really enjoyed, Garden Center 1, the Aliso Creek Park, which I mentioned earlier, Clubhouse 2, Par 3 Golf Course, Clubhouse 1, and the main golf course. And some of these people were so excited about it that they showed up an hour early just to go out and stage where they were going to sit.
Very good.
They are really having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And also the organization once or twice a year submits paintings up here for hanging in the walls of the community center and then also over at City Hall when requested. So they're pretty busy.
Yeah, they are.
They're really enjoying it.
Fun. That's great. Great artists here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some really super good artists.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. All right, now we're going to talk, we're going to switch gears a little bit, talk about some GRF subjects. And the first one is about electronic payments. And we're going to talk about different things going on in the clubhouses, right?
Right. Electronic payments has been something that's been on the radar for a couple of years here. And that's to allow people to pay for fees, fines, assessments, anything like this using a credit card or debit card.
Yeah.
And we're finally to the point where we're just about ready to roll out the whole program. Chuck in our IT department is working on a test right now with Betty, who's our Chief Financial Officer. And we think that that's going to be possibly up and running by the end of this summer, okay? And it's going to be a great program. We'll let you know more particulars as we get closer. But it's going to be great because if you have a chargeable service, say Brad wants to get it to where when the serviceman is done, he has a tablet right there. He just swipes your card, and it's at the point of service.
Right.
Okay.
And we see that everywhere now.
Yeah. And they're going to try to get it set up so that you can do it through the portal also. So that's coming, and it looks like the rollout's going to be real soon.
All right. Very good. Now, you want to give updates on some of the clubhouses, just kind of what's going on. So let's go in order.
Well, kind of from a budget standpoint, some meetings I've been in and committees I've been on and looking at the capital plan, I'd like to start with some of the GRF programs first. These folks have been working really hard. And one thing I like about the staff and about members of the different HOA boards is they don't sit stale or stagnant. They're out looking around, talking to people, trying to see what the problems are, things like this. And so GRF spent a lot of time this year really identifying things, and along with Brad and his staff. So just go over a few of these things. Now, I'm going to give the fiscal year where they were slated to be. Some of these things maybe move forward. By forward, I mean closer to us, maybe even this year. So basically, I'm talking about this year through the end of 2020, and I'll try to give you a target area. Okay, Clubhouse 1, TV cabling in rooms 1 and 2, new paint and carpet in the office, new patio grills and chairs, and on the pool deck, they should be receiving some chairs as well.
Okay.
These are specially picked chairs, so as they'll be able to be stacked, but they're also going to be more comfortable than the ones we currently have. That's slated to be in 19 and 20, part and part. Clubhouse 2, next year, they're looking at carpet upgrades coming to the meeting rooms. I guess they're getting pretty well worn out and things like that, so they want to replace them. Clubhouse 3, coming in 19, it's being considered for new rigging for the stage, a new curtain, roof replacement, and a new air conditioning system. And the reason they want to do the roof and the air conditioning system together is when you do the roof, you may as well do that.
Yeah.
Because you have access.
Yeah.
So that's pretty well firmed up, I think, for 19.
Now, obviously, getting back to the roof replacement, that's pretty major now.
That's pretty major.
Are you aware, or I should say, do you know, are we talking about the entire roof, parts of the roof, or is that still being looked at?
As far as I know, it could be the entire roof, but especially where that air conditioning system is going to go.
All right.
So Brad's still looking at that as to how to size that up, but it may be part and part, it may be the entire thing, but they want to do the air conditioning system and that part of the roof at least at the same time.
Okay, and now Clubhouse 4.
Okay, coming next year, right now, I should say, a new air conditioning system is being installed in the wood shop. It also has particle filters in it and things like that. It's something that they've wanted for a long time.
Yeah.
In fact, last year I was there, and one of the guys recognized me as being on Third Mutual, and he grabbed me on the side and said, "When are we going to get our air conditioning system?" You know, and I came back, and at a meeting I was at right after that, they started talking about it. So now it's actually happening, and I'm sure the guys are going to be very happy with what they get.
Yeah, especially in a wood shop, you want something that does good air filtration. Of course, as far as I know, most of the equipment there, the saws and things like that, are connected to a vac system. I think they are anyway.
At least part of them are.
Yeah, part of them are. But even with that, you still have the fine particles, the fine dust that is...
It's all throughout the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, something else that's coming to there is new kilns are slated to be installed this August between the breaks of the classes there. And hope they are able to get that installed during that short time period. Something else that's just happened is the Photo Club has just received a new remodeled 48-inch printer. So if you're in the market for looking at something like that and you want to work with the Photo Club, it's a great opportunity now to use that system.
Yeah, they're very nice.
So.
You can do poster size.
Yeah.
Art. Yeah, very good. Now, Clubhouse 5, lobby improvements.
Yeah, they're scheduled in 19 for new lights and replacement of window coverings. People have been asking for window coverings for quite a while, and they've tried a few of them, but they just haven't worked right. So I think they pretty well settled now on what they're after.
And Clubhouse 7, that this is more of a minor thing, but a new door. Was there something wrong with the door or not one there?
I don't know because I don't play bridge. All I know is that people were excited.
All right.
It's going to be a new door that gives them access into the bridge area.
Okay.
So Brad seemed to be excited about everybody else, and I'm kind of going, okay, maybe I need to go play cards.
I've been in there before, and I know there's the one double doors, but I don't know.
So.
All right. Now the Equestrian Center.
Yeah, the Equestrian Center, we have a new barn manager that just joined us last weekend. And the person comes from Aliso Viejo with experience, okay? So it's not going to be somebody that needs to be trained up. Person hit the ground running. Also, the center will be receiving new chairs soon. Brad, I think, has accelerated the purchase of those. So for events that they want to hold over there, you're going to be more comfortable.
Okay. And finally, the golf course area.
Okay, lots of things are on the docket here for the golf course, especially over the next 3 years. And I'll just touch on a few of them that have been accelerated to this year, and then talk about a little bit for 19. The wood shop has been in a partnership with Recreation Department, and they've made some new markers and signs. Some of them are already being installed. As soon as the wood shop finishes another project, I understand they're going to get back to it and finish up on the signs. So these things I think will have ranges on them. They won't be placed in the middle of the fairway anymore. They'll be off to the side like a regular golf course.
Yeah.
As I understand.
All right. That's I like the idea of the wood shop working.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And those guys are phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Professional woodworkers. It just blows my mind to see that what they do.
Yeah. Why not use the talent that's
Yeah.
here? And there's a little sense of pride that goes along with that. So.
We also
Good.
have a new pro golfer staff member. He's joining us. His name is Sean. And looking on to other things that are happening, funds are being allocated for new gate valves to their watering system there. And
Okay.
they've got to upgrade the entire thing, but this is the first step
Okay.
that Brad wanted to have done. And then next year in 19, they're looking at completely redoing the lines, the sprinkler heads, things like that. The sprinkler heads every so often are supposed to be raised to get above the turf and the ground level.
Yeah, they kind of
right now
come
they're
up.
kind of down
Yeah,
low,
yeah.
and they can't really get the area for sprinkling like they need to do.
Okay.
So that'll help in the long run. So I think people will be happy with that.
Yeah.
It'll really help with the watering problem.
All right, now to Third Mutual, and the first one you want to talk about is, of course, the subject that's been talked about now for several months, and that is along Ridge Route Drive and the new type of fencing that, I should say fence topping, so to speak, that'll go on the Shepherd's Crook. And I know that this has been looked at back and forth for the last several months, you know, what style and things like
exactly.
that. Yeah.
People in that area are going to see contractors starting like within the next week, where they're going to go in and take out the low brush, and they're going to trim the trees.
And we can see this on the screen right now that it's really, you know, let's call it what it is. On the outside there, it's just kind of a thicket of mess right now, and a lot of debris back there. We've had problems with people sleeping back there, some folks that are homeless, because you know, they can get back up in there and kind of hide, but you can see here a lot of cleanup that needs to be done and will be done. It has been done, but once you get the Shepherd's Crook on the top of the walls there,
Now, some parts of the wall, well, first off, once they get the debris out of there, and they're going to raise the lower canopy of the trees up to 8 feet. Okay, so that'll give our security guys better access to drive by and look. And also for the people that live on the inside of the wall. Now, in some spots on the wall, it's only like 36 inches high.
That's right, yeah.
So in some ways, the debris has helped, but in other ways, it's easier for people to climb over the wall. Okay. But what we want to do is put Shepherd's Crook in there, which will take it up at least to between 6.5 feet and 7 feet, somewhere in that area, and make it much more difficult for somebody to come in. And it's not a solve-all situation, but it is a way of keeping people out that would not ordinarily try to climb something high and get by some spiky points.
Right.
So it should help with security for that area considerably. Now, once the debris is taken out, which we anticipate about a month to 5 weeks, and there's going to be a lot of noise, there's going to be stuff in the air, so people need to prepare for that. But once that's done, then they'll come in with a Shepherd's Crook and put that up.
Okay.
So then it'll be pretty nice, I think.
All right,
So.
very good. The trash chutes in the garden villas.
Yeah, we've had trouble in the past with the trash chutes needing to be cleaned and fixed. And what we're trying to do is to completely scrub them out, which the cleaning process has already taken place. We've had to work with Waste Management and some other folks to clean up some of the dumpsters that were under there because they were real smelly. So were the chutes. So the cleaning has been done. They're actually in there repairing them and getting them up to speed, because some of them haven't been done for a long time. There may be holes, there may be jagged edges, things like this. One of the things that they've looked at is when the chutes come down to where they dump into the dumpster, they narrow a little bit. And so they're looking at a way of how to fix that also.
Right, right.
And it may be just as simple as getting a little metal arm with a hook on it to pull things down.
Yeah.
But anyway, they should be cleaner and they should be fixed.
Yeah.
So that should be done by the end of the summer for sure.
Great. And now the walkway lighting, always a multi-decade project, or multi-decade subject, I should say.
But we're doing it.
Yeah, you're doing it, yes.
The contractor's already in place, and Bill Walsh on our board, he's the first vice president, has been over there monitoring everything that's been happening. They've already taken out some of the lower height of the lights that are lower and putting in new ones that kind of look like a canister.
Mm-hmm.
They're about 30 inches high. Now, these canisters will have lights in them that put out much more light.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to refine how they're aimed and things like that. So that'll be coming in the near future. But we also plan in the future years to put some money against the program to go into the unlit areas of the walkways. And now this is by gates 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I was over there and I saw some areas that were pretty well black.
Yeah.
But we've got to take care of the first thing, and that's to get the other ones replaced, find out how they cast the light, and then plan accordingly.
Okay, now finally, another thing that is required by the Orange County Fire Authority, and that is removing what would be areas that would be considered fuel.
Right, for fires.
For fires, yeah.
And that's over where our fence or wall connects to the wilderness area.
Mm-hmm.
And the Orange County Fire Authority, you know, with all the fires of recent, they're very concerned about taking care of weeds, dry things.
Yeah.
Anything that's growing that has anything in it that could be flammable.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the plants that we have, things like that, and bushes, the oils inside of them can be considered flammable. So what we've done this year, we've moved up to this year, is we've allocated $200,000 for the beginning of this project. And so within the next month, you should see a contractor out in that area who's actually going out, cutting down brush, trimming up the foliage to no more than 36 inches in height. So they're going to be hauling off a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And after we finish that, then we've got to come to the interior of Third Mutual, to the hillsides, and cut that stuff down. Because if you look up on some of the side hills, you'll see growth up to 10, 12 feet.
Yeah.
And like Bruce has said, you could start a fire at the bottom and go all the way up into the trees.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to chop this down and make it more accessible to people, as well, or to firefighters, as well as take away the fuel concept for the fires.
All right, very good. Anything else?
So just want to say that I think things are going really well. And I am so happy to see boards working together and staff. It's just, it's actually a joy to walk into a meeting sometime and be with these folks.
Yeah.
And people are thinking outside the box. We're finding solutions for things that we never knew that we could. And we're working, especially with our funds that we have allocated, to shift them around if we need them and to meet the needs of the community.
All right, very good. Great to see you. I appreciate it. Take
Thanks
care,
a lot.
Steve. We'll see you
Okay.
next time. We'll be right back.